Hey y'all, welcome back to M. Jones Style. I'm Marcia, and thank you guys so much for joining me while I'm out here in my garden today. So today, it is time for another garden tour. This is going to be the mid-July garden tour, and so many things are happening out here in my garden. Some good, some bad, some in between, but I want to share that all with you guys. So come along with me, and let's go on this garden tour. Let's go. Let's start over in my west garden. So back here on the west side of my house, I have my Mexican buckeye, and it is doing quite well. It's grown quite a bit. It's been in the ground about 2 years. Over here, I had to put some protection on this plant because the rabbits were coming in and they had eaten all the leaves off of this plant here. And this one is called, it's called the Orange Zest Cestrum. And it's supposed to get really big, like 8 to 10 feet, but it can't even get going because the rabbits won't leave it alone. Down my fence line, my Carolina Sapphire Cypress are still growing, and guys, look, they're getting taller. They haven't been in the ground a year. This fall will be a year, but they are really doing well. But this is something that I am super happy about. This is my crepe myrtle, and it is blooming. And guys, isn't it beautiful? This crepe myrtle is called, let's see, it's called the Black Diamond Best Red Crepe Myrtle. So as you can see, it has really dark foliage, and then it has the beautiful, beautiful blossoms. And I have some more that are going to be opening up soon. Here is another one of the Carolina Sapphire Cypress, doing well. And I have a row of them down here. So here's my other one. And then over here in the corner, my wax myrtle is doing pretty good. It bounced back from that hailstorm about a month ago. This right here is my fig tree. It is putting on some new foliage, so I'm happy about that. And I'm seeing down off in there, I don't know if that's a fig or not. It just could be some more of the leaves, but we'll see. So it's still kicking along. Over here is another one of the cypress. And this one was struggling, but it's finally starting to take root and starting to perform. Now right here is my smoke bush, and guys, it's growing. I'm so happy. I can't wait until it gets big. This smoke bush is supposed to be about, I think, 10 feet. So it should be a beautiful, beautiful plant if it just keeps growing. Now we'll go over here to my angel bed, and I can show you how wonderful the Gyra is doing. Look how big this plant has gotten, and I think this plant was like a 4-inch pot. My vincas are doing well. I see that I need to get out here and do a little bit of weeding. That grass is trying to come back. Now my lilies, my Asiatic lilies, they look a little like they've been getting a little bit too much rain. or water. But they're not supposed to be blooming this time of year, so I'm okay with that. And if I end up having to cut them back, I will do that. Guys, look at this. This is my purple hyacinth bean. It is beautiful. And I can't wait to show you the pretty little blossoms up close. Now here are the beans that come on this plant. And what you do is you collect those when they get dry and you plant them the following year. So I am really proud of that plant right there. It's doing so well. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's all the way up to my window. This is one of the Autumn Joy sedums that I just stuck in the ground. And look guys, it looks like to me it's trying to start blooming. I planted this coneflower over here and it's struggling a little bit. I think it's going to come back next year. It's just not having a very good time this year. That's another one of my garas. And look at my coneflowers over here. Aren't they pretty? Okay, now this right here is the Texas Star Hibiscus. It has not bloomed yet, but it has like tripled in size. Over here is the Society Garlic. And back there are my lilies. They've already bloomed for the season. I also have some rock rose that's blooming. And that rock rose, it opens during the day and closes at night. But the blossom is so pretty. Let me show you how pretty it is. And they usually cover the entire plant. Now if you hear that noise, someone is getting a new roof. Here is my phlox. It's been blooming all summer. I think it's going to take a break here, and I may have to just prune it back, and it may give me another flush. More vincas. Here's my Jerusalem sage. Now it hasn't put off any blossoms, but it is getting bigger. Lots and lots of foliage. And I have 2 of those. But look what is blooming. My Salvia greyi. I've got a white one here that was supposed to be purple. And then I have my purple one here. More of that rock rose. It reseeds quite vigorously. So if you don't like that, you might not want to plant that plant. Another one of my Salvia greyi in purple. And then of course, my beautiful mountain laurel. And guys, there were some worms, so I sprayed it with some spray, and I'll have to put the name of the spray on the screen, but it is supposed to be organic. It's not anything, it's not a pesticide or anything like that. Over here on the back porch are those zinnias that are continuing to bloom. They're starting to fizzle out, but I do still have some pretty blossoms here, and they have just gotten so tall. Oh my gosh, look at this one, guys. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, you just cannot go wrong with zinnias. You have to plant them. They're so easy. You just put the seeds in the ground, give them a little water, and they're off to the races. And then over here is some more of that rock rose. And here are my mums. Okay guys, we are over here on the front of my son's house, and this Texas cactus is getting ready to bloom. You see that right there? This plant here is doing very well. And I'll put the name on the screen because I can't remember what it is. It's growing. I think it's probably tripled in size. This one over here is kind of struggling, and as you can see, it's a little sad, but It hasn't died, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. Here, this plant is still growing, but there are some dead leaves on it, and I cannot pull them up for whatever reason. They're just so hard to pull up, and I don't want to pull up the plant, so I just leave them there. And then here is another plant that is a beautiful, this is a Texas Soto. And guys, I don't know if you remember, but I told you that this right here was really a failure. It was supposed to be my vegetable bed, but what I did was I came out here and just threw some zinnia seeds out here, and guys, look at this. I mean, I've got some beautiful, beautiful zinnias blooming. So I am happy that I just didn't give up on it, and I just tried something different. There's some more little seedlings that are coming up down there. But best of all, I have got some cantaloupes. You see that vine right there? That is a cantaloupe vine. And hopefully those flowers are going to turn into fruit. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Over here on the breezeway, I have this plant here, and this is just a wild flower that grows here in Texas. I'm sure it grows other places too, but it comes back every year, and I love it because it has beautiful flowers on it. So it's growing very nicely. And then over here are my two pots, and they're still blooming, and the vincas have taken over. You can see the marigolds peeping out from below. I did have some petunias in here, but the vincas just squeezed them out. Here is the other one. We got some rain today, so that was really good. Okay guys, so over here on my east side garden, I have quite a few things growing. I have my Veronicas, look at them. I cut them back and they have already pushed out new blooms. So it is true, it may be a little kind of sad to cut your plants back, but they will give you more blooms if you do that. Here is another pot here. I've been pinching off my geraniums and they just keep blooming. And then recently I put in this lemon coral sedum, and guys, it's already doubled in size, and that's been about 3 weeks. Now I have over here my lamb's ear. This pot here are where the petunias are, and the marigolds, they're doing okay. But you know, petunias, they have a hard time when it gets really hot. So if you don't keep deadheading them. Sorry about that, guys. I live near an airport, but those planes are not from this airport. They must be going over into Fort Worth. That sounds like some jets. All right, then I've got more of my vincas here blooming, and I have some pink ones here. And then this is my bed of salvia, my hot lips, and my Henry Duelberg. And guys, I just sit right in here and look out, and the bees and the butterflies just go crazy for this bed right here. They love it. Now I have something new that I've added to my garden. I went to visit my sister on the 4th of July weekend, and I found this beautiful angel at an antique store, and I just had to have it. These are my ajuga down here that are continuing to fill in and cover up that little gap. And I've got some basil over here and some yellow zinnias that are just so pretty. Here is my autumn joy sedum that took a big hit during that hailstorm, but as you can see, it has blossomed back out. It's getting ready to put on some flowers, so it's going to be just fine. And look what's blooming. My fall obedient plant. Now guys, this is another one that reseeds quite a bit. I don't mind because it's reseeding exactly where I want it to, so I'm happy about that. But they are getting ready to start blooming. All of these plants came from just one plant. And guys, look what's still hanging around. These violas. They just won't go away, and I'm so happy about that. But look what I have right here, some nasturtium. Isn't that pretty? So over in this pot right here, I have some of that ice plant with the pretty little flowers on it. I have some nasturtium. And then here is my plumeria. At first I thought it was dead, but look at there. And look right here. You can see really close. There's going to be some leaves coming out right there. Guys, I really do love hostas, but I just really don't have a place for them on my property, even though I'm pushing the limit here. I planted this one here, and it was not doing well because it was getting too much sun. So I went and I purchased these umbrellas. They're plant umbrellas off of Amazon to try and shade it a little bit, and that has helped out significantly. I have my beautiful, beautiful East Friesland sage. I cut this back, and look, it's already starting to blossom out again. I didn't have much success with my clematis, and I think it's because it grew all the way up to the top, but then the roots, I believe they were getting too much sun. So I kind of tried to take this umbrella and hide some of the roots as well to see if that would help that plant out. Now over here is my coral bell. It's doing wonderful. I don't even have to water this plant. It has taken off, and it is growing in leaps and bounds. Now here is another one of my little umbrellas. I'm trying to give my columbine some protection, and it's really not doing that well, but it's not dying, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this plant. I've moved it 3 times, and it still is not doing well. But look at my Gerber daisies. They are just blooming every day, and when I deadhead them, they just send out new blossoms. More of the East Friesland sage, and some more vincas filling out this pot. Here is my Peggy Martin. She's not blooming right now, but she is sending out so many long branches, and I think that I might get another flush of blooms in the fall once the weather cools off a bit. This is a new plant. It's called a monkey flower, and it's getting ready to bloom. See the little blue blossom right there? Let me see what the name says here. Mimulus ringens. Okay, so we'll see how that comes out. I've never had that plant before. I have some Morgara here, and then over here I have one of those proven winner. It's called a Superbena Cobalt. Yeah, it's looking kind of sad today. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's not dry because I felt it earlier, and it has it's very moist. Here are the dianthus and a blue daze over here in a pot that I need to pot up. But look what's blooming. My black-eyed Susans. And they are looking so, so pretty. Over here are the lantana. It has not bloomed yet, but I see some little buds on it. So hopefully it will start to bloom. It's supposed to be white. Now over here, my coreopsis, they've already given a beautiful show. I came in and I cut them back, and as you can see, they're starting to bud out again. That's another one of those lantanas. And then guys, over here, this pot is just full of grasshoppers. I don't know what they love about this plant, but they do. See, look at that. I can't keep them off of it. So I said, okay, well, you know, if I have to lose a plant, I guess this one would be one that I won't be so sad about. I do have those little violas off in there still. And this self-seeding salvia, it is just self-seeding all over the place. I have some of the fan flower plant there. And guys, look at that big, beautiful self-seeding zinnia. I did not plant this here. It just somehow started growing, and look how big and pretty it is. A little bit of nasturtium in this pot. And we'll go over here and we will look at my 3 pots that I have over here. They're still blooming. I have my mandevilla here. Some more marigolds. The society garlic. And this canna just continues to bloom. And I came out here, guys, and I, tried to deadhead it. You just pull all this off. Don't even worry about it. It'll just keep blooming. So that looks really pretty. And this is a different color mandevilla. Isn't that pretty? It's red, but it's gorgeous. And my last pot on this side on my septic system with more of the same plants. And it looks beautiful. On the other side of the gate, I have more vincas in a different color. That is my rosemary. And then I had a Russian sage over here that needed to be cut back, and I've cut it back, and it's already starting to bloom out again. I've got my blue mealy sage over there in the corner. More of this gorgeous Russian sage. And then over here, we have my little froggy, and it's starting to fizzle out. I am going to give it some water to try and pop it back up, but as you can see, the marigolds, they're tired. They do have a few more buds on them, so we'll see how that works out. As the summer continues to get hotter, the plants will start to suffer. And then I have a pot over here that's doing very nicely. This is my pot that has the Mystic Spire Salvia and also the marigolds. And I need to just pick that off of there. That just helps your plants to send out more blossoms. And guys, I just pick them off and throw them on the ground. I know some people collect theirs and put them in a compost, but I don't have compost here. So that's what I do. I just give them back to the ground. Guys, this is also on the east side of my property. And then here is my island bed. And my favorite pot is this pot here. It has the red hot poker, lots of the trailing vinca. It's just so beautiful. Over here is my Potterplu Althea, which is Rose of Sharon. It has one bloom on it. It had several not too long ago, but right now it just has this one bloom. I've got some more of this plant here, and I have several of them. There's one there, and then there's one over here, and it's called the Mango Tango Hummingbird Mint. Here is my white Gaura and my beautiful hibiscus. And look, it's getting ready to open up and have a beautiful blossom. My white Althea has more blooms on it. And it's doing very well. I've got my red salvia here. I cut this back as well. It's already starting to bloom back out. And this is that plant that the butterflies and the bees just absolutely love. I have it also in white. Another red one over here. And guys, I've got my lantana here. It was blooming, but it has taken a break. And over here are my beautiful Helen Von Stein lamb's ear. And I love these more than I do the others on the across from them. These right here. But I'm not going to pull those up because they're still pretty. Over here is my Brazos penstemon. Now it has a lot of little buds on it, so hopefully they will bud out again. It's given me several shows. And then here is my blue mist flower. And as you can see, it is getting ready to bloom. Guys, do you remember I was complaining about this rose bush and how it was just not performing very well? Well, I sprayed some neem oil on it, and I think that helped it because it's starting to give me some really pretty blossoms. This one's already spent, but here's one here. So I may or may not move this in the fall. Over here is another sunflower. And these sunflowers come from the birds eating from the bird feeder. They just drop down here and create sunflowers. This one's already finished. I have one over here that's already finished as well, but they are so pretty. Over here are those lilies that just really never bloomed. I think they just got too much water, but they may bloom, we'll see. And here is a mom. I just transplanted this one from another one over across the way. So in the fall, I should have some beautiful moms. That is called a garden girl mom. Over here is another pot with some beautiful geraniums and those vincas with the little yellow eye. So that pot's doing very well. And also the creeping Jenny, look how much it's grown. Over here are some Nandina. They're called Firepower. And this banana tree has really come back after that hailstorm. But what I did was I went ahead and I cut off the leaves that were not doing well, and that seemed to help the plant. Look how big that leaf is. So pretty. And then over here I have the drift roses. They are coral and they're doing so well. This is like the third show that they've given me, so I need to get out here and deadhead so that I can have another show. Here's another one over here. I probably should have planted 3 plants, so maybe I'll plant another one in the fall. Here are my strawberries. Now there are no strawberries on here, but the plant is doing so well. And guys, look at this. I didn't realize that they got this long. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Over here is another one of those Platinum Beauty grasses. And then I have my lilies that have already bloomed. They were transplanted from another area in the garden. And then over here are those salvia. And I think this area just gets a little bit too much water, but this blossom on this salvia is just so long and pretty. And the name of this salvia is the Roman red salvia. Another one of those Platinum Beauty grasses, and that comes from Southern Living, I think. Another pot that's doing very well. I am really happy at how the pots have turned out this year. They have done so well. This is a canna, and I love the color of this canna. And here is another one of those banana trees. It's doing so well. I cut this one back as well after it was damaged by the hailstorm, but it just didn't stop it. It's growing very well. And guys, look here. This is my lime tree, and I have a little lime. So I'm so excited about that. I think we're going to have to dig this one up and bring it inside for the winter, but we'll see. Guys, look at my elephant ears. Aren't they beautiful? And I'm going to show you this one over here. The leaf is just so huge. Look at that. Just so pretty. Let's see if I can get, look at that. It comes from here and it goes all the way down there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. On the peach tree, there were 3 peaches. I ate 2 of them and they were so delicious. And then there's one more that I'm saving for my grandson. So I think this tree is going to make it. I can already tell that it's gotten bigger and it's gotten taller. Now my flamethrower redbud, it's suffering, guys. I don't think it's, the leaves are damaged, but I don't think the actual root of the tree is damaged. So I think it's just going to have to lose these leaves in the fall and start all over again, because after that hailstorm, it just took a hit. But I'm keeping an eye on it, and I hope that it will come back and get stronger. Y'all, over here, I had this chandelier that was out, just sitting outside, and I got on Amazon and ordered these solar little tea lights, and it is so beautiful at night. I'm going to have to take a picture or show you at night how pretty it is out here in the garden. Here is that Texas cactus, still not blooming, but we will be hopeful that it will. My dry creek bed, and I'll pan around so that you can see the area that I just showed you. Okay, and guys, this is my latest project. It is my vintage paver project, and guys, I have gotten so many views on this particular video, and I'm so excited about it because I really worked hard on trying to put this thing together. But I love it, and I'm so glad that you guys love it as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to come out here and have me a glass of wine this evening. I just love this area. It just came out so well. Sometimes you just have to go with however the project takes you, and that's what I did. So again, that is my island bed. I have to get a name for this area here, so you guys help me out. What do you think I should call it? Over here are my hydrangeas, my limelight hydrangeas. And guys, they're not blooming, but they are growing. So I'm happy about that. I probably will not get any blossoms this year, but that's okay. And then back over in this area, this section is where I have a stash of plants that I need to get in the ground. These came from my sister's house. This right here, this variegated artemisia, isn't that pretty? And then she rooted me a Belinda's Dream rose bush. I don't know if it's going to take or not. This right here is a mum, and we'll see how that goes. She's rooted that one as well. And I already had my caladium in this pot. Another Belinda's Dream that's been rooted. And this over here, oh, look at that. Guys, this is a Althea from my sister's house, and she rooted that one as well. So that is getting some life to it. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. So I will be planting some of this stuff in the fall. Now let's come on around here and look at my tree that I've been babying like crazy. This is my Japanese maple. It is teeny tiny still. I don't know if it's gonna make it, guys. I ordered this from Mr. Maple. I didn't realize it was gonna be this small. And it was not cheap. It was like 60 bucks. But we'll see how that goes. Over here is another hydrangea, but guys, I think this was marked wrong. I don't think this is a panicle hydrangea. I think this is one of those kind that needs the shade. So I put this umbrella here to try and protect it from the sun. I'm going to hold on to it and just leave it here until the fall, and then I will dig it up and put it in a pot or something like that, because it's not very happy at all. It is putting out some new leaves though, so it's not dead, but it does not like this area here, and I have got to get it moved. Y'all, the front yard hasn't changed much. It's doing quite well, and it's just continuing to grow. Everything is pretty much the same. Oh, look at that bumblebee. They love this salvia. Love it, love it, love it. There they are. But I do want to show you this, and I need to find out what I need to do. This is my Texas sage, and notice how it is leaning here. I think it's trying to reach for the sun, and I need to have that standing up. So I need to figure out if I should stake it or what should I do. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But this is my front garden with Abelia, Texas sage, irises that have already bloomed, the Henry Duelberg salvia. I've got a little bit of society garlic back there in the distance. So everything is doing very well out front. I've got my dwarf Yaupon hollies as my hedges. And also my rue. My camellia is putting on some new foliage. More of the Abelia. And around here on the front porch garden, which I call my perfume garden, I have some coneflower that's doing really well. That is another drift rose. It's already given another show. I need to get out here and deadhead again. It's like every time you deadhead, it just bounces back and gives you another show. Another drift rose. That's the popcorn. All of my irises that have already bloomed. I have a few blossoms here on my Carefree Beauty rose bush that I need to cut back. And then another view on this side of the other side of the front flower bed. Thank you so much for coming by and joining me during this garden tour for the mid-July. I hope that you will come back and join me again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, y'all.